This podcast is part of the It Was a Thing on TV podcast network.
You see, Rob, they gave me strict orders to eliminate you from TNA. And I made one mistake, Rob. And that's that I left you breathing. But I'm gonna correct my mistake, Rob, on 10. Because at Bound for Glory, they will finally reveal themselves and begin the takeover of TNA. And Rob, on 10, me and my girl Janice are going to finish the job once and for all. We're not gonna hurt you. We're not gonna maim you. We're not even gonna cripple you. On 10, Janice and I are going to slaughter you.
Folks, it's a date that comes once a century. It's 10-10-10 as we set the coordinates on the Square Circle Time Machine for TNA Bound for Glory 2010. Gregor, Dane, and Dane, are we ready for more 2010 TNA?
I am ready because I remember this being kind of the interesting period of time when I was kind of wavering back and forth with TNA as watching it, and it was, I think it was stuff after the show that kind of got me meh with the promotion as a whole. So it'd be nice to kind of watch the show and see kind of where the wheels started falling off somewhat, for me at least, as a fan.
Yeah. But before that, we got to talk about current wrestling, and we just had NXT Showdown.
I was kind of predicted, I kind of had a feeling the Hardys would win the NXT titles off the Dark State for as now adds extra, because now apparently it's been added that both the NXT and TNA titles will be up for grabs this coming Sunday at this year's rendition of Bound for Glory, as the Hardys face Team 3D in one last table.
You know what? It would kind of be funny if Team 3D won, just so we could have them be the only team with the WWE, the WCW, the ECW, the NWA, the TNA, and the NXT tag team titles.
Yes, as we will find out later on in this show that their plans to retire. Spoiler alerts, we get Bully Ray a few years later as being the mastermind behind Aces and Eights and marrying Hulk Hogan's daughter, so.
Oh, we're not supposed to know that, Dane. We can't know it. Advanced knowledge of the future.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. And then we have, maybe this will destroy the timeline. We can actually have my dream of president that you'll see and Taylor Swift and ruling over the dominant class of people.
Just so long as we get Tim Walz or somebody in the cabinet, that's fine.
Yeah. Also, like I said, Bound for Glory coming up Sunday, and also we have the WWE going down under for a few days with the big crown jewel, not in the Blood Money country this year, but in sunny Perth, Australia. So,
Oh yeah, Australia.
Australia, good eye, mate.
You know, you'd think that they could probably get what's Paul Hogan doing? They could probably use him for something on this show.
Or whichever one of Steve Irwin's kids is still lives around there.
Yeah, maybe. I'm kind of excited for Crown Jewel.
I'm kind of I was on the fence too, but now we kind of got the interesting fired up promo for what's going to be the last time for Cena and AJ Styles, and too bad we didn't get a classic beat up John Cena promo from AJ, but then AJ's promo on this past Monday was pretty much saying there really doesn't need to be a build for Cena versus AJ.
I'm looking forward to this Australian street fight between Roman and Bronson Reed. What are the rules of an Australian street fight?
Might be the same as Australian rules football. There are no rules. Maybe we're going to see, like, I don't know, maybe we will see both Stomper and the Bushwhackers Kangaroo used as props in the match, maybe.
Oh, could you imagine if the Bushwhackers Kangaroo showed up during the match? What a deep cut that is. The Bushwhackers Kangaroo from 1996. Or maybe Crash Bandicoot can have a cameo. But let me just say this. Maxine Dupree, you have won a permanent place in my heart.
Yes. She pulled out a surprising match with Becky Lynch and throwing out some actual wrestling moves. I mean, an ankle lock and some other great submissions attempts. I mean, God bless Natty and TJ for getting her trained up in the Dungeon 2.0 gym.
Yeah. Oh, man. If she's going to be as good as that, oh, man. Because I've really liked her for a long time now, so.
Yeah. I mean, if there's someone who deserves to be like, I mean, I kind of like what they've done in creating like the women's Intercontinental and US titles, but if there was a case for her to bring back the Divas title instead of those two, Maxine would be the top choice for that, would be my opinion.
Oh, for sure. And now let's get into the big wrestling issue that everybody's been talking about all week. And that is Hangman Adam Page being pissed at AEW for airing ice commercials.
Oh, boy. Well, in fairness, it's probably not AEW, it's like Warner Brothers, but why would my ethical billionaire allow such things to happen during my wrestling show?
Yeah, you'd think the whole Tony Khan would be like, no, brother, I'm not going to have these freaking ice commercials on my show.
And then we had this week during Title Tuesday, apparently there was a Ice Fears Hangman sign that got apparently confiscated. So how very WWE of you, AEW.
And it was shown during an ice commercial. You could not make that if you even tried. Okay, well, enough about that. We got to get into the train wreck that was 2010 TNA.
We've talked many times about it, even a little bit when we did Hardcore Justice, The Last Stand. Yeah, and then of course we find out in this pay-per-view that the EV2 guys are still hanging around and beating that carcass to death enough.
Well, wait a minute, Dane. I thought they were done. I thought they wanted one last show at Hardcore Justice, and that was it.
Apparently not, because we got Tommy Dreamer still crying about stuff and wearing a shirt that says thank you at the back. And he's gathered whatever remaining people that figured that they got enough, that was good enough to fight on what actually would become some very big names in the business. And for some reason, we get the continuation of the really awkward Mick Foley-Ric Flair feud over hardcore stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, yeah. I forgot. We also have the vacant championship to be decided between Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle, and Mr. Anderson.
Okay, so because Rob Van Dam was the champion at Hardcore Justice. How did we get from there to here now? Okay,
so RVD and Abyss had a Stairway to Janice match at the Impact Hall effing show after Hardcore Justice. And then after the match off screen, Abyss beat the shit out of RVD with Janice.
And of course, we're talking about Janice the board, not the Janice that the board was named after.
Oh, no. It'd be very weird if Janice Carter, Dixie Carter's mom, beat the shit out of RVD. That would be embarrassing. RVD beaten up by an 80-year-old woman. And then we had a tournament. We had an 8-man tournament for the TNA World Championship. Now, I got to explain this, okay? Now, before this tournament, Kurt Angle had like an idea, because they started in TNA in 2010, this ranking system, this top 10 ranking system. And Kurt initially in the first ranking was number 2, but he was like, no, I don't want to be number 2. I want to be unranked and work my way up from 10 to 1 in the top 10 and then fight for the championship. And if I lose before I get to the championship match, I'll retire. And I'm like, Kurt, that's a really fucking stupid idea.
Kurt, you're like the number 2 seed. Be happy with it. Stay there.
Yeah, stay there. That's kind of dumb. Don't do that. So we had an 8-man tournament with the top 8 contenders for the belt. So in the semifinals, we had at the previous pay-per-view, No Surrender, Mr. Anderson defeating the Pope, D'Angelo De Niro, to go to the finals. And then in the main event for the other semifinal between Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle, we had a no contest. We had a 30-minute draw, but we had to have a winner. So what we did was we had another match on Impact. And then you're not going to believe what happened, Dave.
Either another no contest or shenanigans involving various people that Kurt and Jeff were feuding with at the time.
We had another draw, Dave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was like, man, how are we going to settle this?
This is very similar to Mr. Perfect and Doink for the 93 King of the Ring qualifying match.
Yeah, Mr. Perfect and Doink. That's a good comparison. So their solution was, well, let's have the main event at Bound for Glory be a 3-way for the title. So Kurt Angle and Jeff Hardy advanced to face Mr. Anderson in the final.
All right, that's fairly logical, I guess, in that regard. On the other hand, you could have said, well, neither men could beat it, so congratulations, Mr. Anderson. You win by default.
Oh, yeah, that would be great for the main event. We just award Mr. Anderson the championship belt. That'd be great. Just have that in the show. He could do his one thing and then make everyone happy.
Make everyone happy and celebrate all his assholes.
I can't believe that was even a shirt in 2010 TNA Day.
Okay. We'll have to talk about that because there is the one sign up front. Because I'm guessing around 2010 is when WWE started its shift, or has been at least in its PG era shift. There was a nice PG crossed out sign that was prominent ringside.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go to the show, shall we? So we get a little opening sequence with a lot of clips here with EV 2.0, with Generation Need, Motor City Machine Guns, Jay Lethal, and we get like RVD doing his Zen stuff for some reason.
So that he is balanced and zeroed out to go into the Monster Ball with the Monster Abyss.
So we are from tonight, the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida. So let me go through the Ocean Center. It was opened in 1985, and we have had, the famous Bash at the Beach where Hogan turned in 96 was at this arena.
Oh, wow. Quite almost foreshadowing for what happens later in the show.
Yes. And then in June 2018, New Japan held their When Worlds Collide show. And then in 2019, AEW held their Fyter Fest event there.
What exactly is a Fyter Fest?
I don't know if you heard in Canada, but there was this thing around 2017 called Fire Festival. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, yes, I remember. Okay, that's... So what, they flew a bunch of wrestlers and neckbeards out to some islands and just stranded them there for no apparent reason, and Tony Khan just walked away with the money?
You know, he could probably do that now if he wanted to. Put an entire pay-per-view on a desert island. Friggin' give everyone the ROH roster instead.
Yeah.
Be streamed on the ROH app. 30 people watching. All right, so we get for our host for tonight, it is Mike Tenay and Taz welcoming us to the show. And we are in our opening match, Dane. It's for the TNA World Tag Team Championship. As the champions of the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley take on this up-and-coming tag team named Generation Knee. And these guys, Max and Jerry Buck, they kind of look familiar to me, Dane.
Yes. I think I even saw their names recently on a episode of AEW Dynamite.
Oh, really? That's where they are now, AEW?
Yes, they're apparently... I don't know, I think they've aged a bit, but they still are a bunch of young bucks.
Yeah, it's Matt and Nick Jackson.
Yeah. The broke EVPs.
Who apparently have not saved any of their money. I don't understand this angle at all. I'm supposed to believe that the Jacksons have never saved a dime of their money?
Yeah, especially when given a sweetheart deal by a money mark billionaire that loves them.
Okay, so Generation Knee recently turned heel on the Motor City Machine Guns on the previous pay-per-view with No Surrender. Now we get this return match for the TNA Tag Team Championship, and I will have to use Dave's review for this show because Scott doesn't have a review for this show. So I want to note, though, Dave mentions that there were a few technical glitches on the pay-per-view. He noted that the company's internet feed went down and they had to cancel the internet showing for international markets. And the pay-per-view on DirecTV had the first 16 minutes of commentary in German. And then during the pay-per-view, the Spanish went through.
Well, you were telling me before the show that Hector Guerrero was one of the Spanish announcers. I wonder who they got for the German commentary team.
Oh, yeah. I don't know any famous German. You think Alex Wright might have done some commentary? If they didn't, Dixie missed a golden opportunity to have Alex Wright do German commentary for this show.
Alex Wright, then Brackus.
Oh, yes, Brackus and Alex Wright. That would be awesome.
We're at least another decade away from people like Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther coming in to represent that area of Europe.
Although, I don't know, Dane. I think Ludwig Kaiser has turned his back on Deutschland after he's become one of the El Grande Americanos.
Yes.
All right, let me get to Dave's review of the match. Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley beat Generation Knee, Max and Jeremy Buck to retain the TNA tag titles in 12:52. As far as an opening match goes, it was great. Crowd loved it. Fast action, good moves. The Guns opened with a double tope. The heat spot came in on working on Shelley. Sabin hot tagged in. They set up a double draping DDT on Shelley, but Sabin came in broken up with a German suplex on Max. Later, Max came off the top rope on Sabin's neck, and Jeremy did a foot dive over the top onto Shelley. Jeremy hit the 450 on Sabin, but Shelley saved. This led to a "This is awesome" chant. Lots of big moves, including Gen Knee doing more bang for your buck for a near fall. Jeremy did a forward roll into a 450 on Shelley, and then Sabin did a German suplex on Max. The finish was clean with the skull and bones by the Guns, which is Shelley coming off the top with a crossbody and Sabin using a neck breaker in the same move. And Shelley pinned Jeremy. The right way to kick off a show. Great heat, and the match went the right length. 4 stars.
It was a good opener. Like, the crowd was definitely into everything, and there was a lot of fast-paced moving and fast-paced action from all four, and you can just tell that it was like that. At least at this time, it's one area that TNA had a strength advantage over the WWE at the time was the tag team division.
Yes, and that was something that Mike and Taz pointed out very well in the commentary about how the TNA tag division was tops in the industry. And I gotta say, it was in 2010.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have a backstage interview with Christy Hemme with Madison Rayne, the reigning TNA Knockouts champion, and Tara.
I forgot that 2010, we're still kind of stuck in the Attitude Era / Ruthless Aggression / Russo era writing for women's wrestling matches and promos. Because, yeah, this was...
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah. Poor Christy Hemme. She didn't deserve to be called a bitch, a skank, and a slut, and all three words at the same time by Madison.
And according to Dave in the review, she also compared Christy's hairstyle to Bozo the Clown.
Hey, come on now. Don't be stealing bits from Ed Whalen, insulting J.R. Foley's jacket.
You know, it would have been something if Madison Rayne said that freaking Angelina Love came from a test tube.
that would have saved it. Instead of just calling the beautiful people skanks, just call them test tube babies. Although she would have done that in her really annoying, screechy heel voice, so that may have not been.
Oh yeah, we'll see you later in the match. For crying out loud, freaking Madison's scream could be heard all the way on the opposite coast. Oh, we got the video package for the match, and I should note, Eric Bischoff set up his personal assistant for this division, Dane.
A personal assistant?
Yes. It's Miss Tessmacher.
Oh, yes, the former clerk of the Expose. Yeah, one of the two other women that knew how to dance, unlike poor Kelly Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly Kelly, God bless her, she could not dance the same life.
Thankfully, she had Brooke and my personal favorite, Layla, there to carry her, so...
Man, I loved Layla. She was great.
Speaking of which, because in that promo, we did have, like, Angelina and Velvet Sky saying that, kind of making a comment that all the women they're trying to pretend to be like them. Was that a shot at Lay Cool, perhaps?
Possibly. This is the era when TNA has that show reaction after Impact on Spike.
Oh, yes. Yes, I kind of, you know what? I didn't really watch the reaction show, but I kind of remember this was when they did all of their backstage segments almost like in the style of like The Office, when they do like documentary style, where it's just kind of like just randomly showing things happening backstage and then just getting like a reaction afterwards.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I think that was like Jason Hervey was involved behind the scenes for that too.
Okay. Because I did ask earlier in the pre-show chat, like, who, other than the obvious, because with Hogan and Bischoff, who else was kind of in charge of TNA creative around this time? Because I'm pretty sure one of the prerequisites for Hogan and Bischoff coming was no Russo because of their dealings with him in WCW. But we all also know then that Dixie is still getting feedback from old Vinny Rue through the emails.
Yeah.
We got probably Jason Hervey, and I'm guessing also Jeremy Borash as well, too, is doing some production stuff as well behind the scenes while he's doing ring announcing. And is Terry Taylor still skulking around as a stooge?
I'm pretty sure he probably is. Hey, somewhere in some organization, Terry Taylor's there, so.
Good old Triple T, terrific Terry Taylor.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention why Tara is associated with Madison. Because
because by the sounds of it, Madison was responsible for Tara being banished from TNA, but now they're buddies again. Explain.
Okay, so Madison had retired Tara, but there was a match between Angelina and Madison for the TNA Knockouts title where the stipulation was if a member of the Beautiful People would interfere, Madison would be DQ'd and lose the title. So there was this mysterious woman in a motorcycle wearing a helmet. And she interfered against Angelina. And the ref wanted to have her remove her helmet, and she refused. So the ref just assumed that it was a member of the Beautiful People. And so Madison got DQ'd and lost her title.
That's kind of a screwy way to... So, I mean, that'd be like where we got right now with our Masked Man situation over in 94 WCW. Hogan versus Flair, but if someone interfered on Flair's behalf, Hogan, or someone got interfered with Hogan, if somehow Hogan would lose the belt by a DQ, and we had the Masked Man come in and just then wallop Flair instead of Hogan.
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense at all. Okay, so we have our 4-way match for the Knockouts title between Angelina Love, the current champion, Madison, Velvet Sky, and Tara.
But wait, something like this, we need a special guest referee for it, I think.
Oh, wait, who are we going to get for a referee?
I don't know. A dinosaur? The Playmate of the Month?
Well, now it's time to look up the Playmate of the Month for October of 2010. All right, let me go through it here. All right. Playboy Playmates of 2010. Oh, Claire Sinclair was the Playmate for October 2010 and was the 2011 Playmate of the Year. She was born on my 7th birthday, May 25th of 1991.
Wow.
I don't know. I think I might have a chance with her, maybe. I mean, the 7-year age difference. I think,
yeah,
7-year age difference today. I think it might work.
Well, you got in with her. At least your birthday twins.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah, so who are we going to get to referee this match?
Well, we got someone that's actually made her debut recently in TNA.
Oh, who's that?
Hardcore Country. It's Mickie James. After leaving the WWE, daring to want to try a hand at country music singing.
So she's here in TNA and she's hardcore country.
Hardcore Country. It's not a bad little ditty. It's very Shania Twain-esque. So it's, it's kind of like a slick, produced by Mutt Lange pop country song, so...
Yeah, that's actually a perfect comparison. Shania Twain right there for that theme.
Yeah.
Looks like something that could fit in that era back in the late 90s.
Yep.
Okay, so Mickey's making her debut here, and of course later, we all know she would meet her future husband, the future GM of SmackDown, Mr. Nicholas Aldis.
Yes. Who at the time was in TNA as Brutus Magnus.
Yes. Okay, so here we go. It's a 4-way match for the TNA Knockouts Championship with Mickie refereeing. So let's go to Dave. Tara won a 4-way to win the Knockouts title over Angelina Love, Velvet Sky, Madison Rayne, Mickie James as ref in 5:53. Not good. Sky's offense looked bad. They built to everyone doing their finishers on each other. The finish was supposed to be Sky doing the O'Connor roll on Tara, who was to reverse it and hold the trunks for the pin. They actually got lost in rolling, so it didn't look good, but Tara got back in the position to win. When Rayne got back in the ring, she was furious at Tara for winning the title, since in the promo she claimed she could trust Tara, while Love and Sky were egomaniacs who couldn't trust each other. Rayne started yelling at Tara and then took a swing at James. James then KO'd Rayne with one punch. James and Tara had a stare down. It seemed they were building to Tara versus James, but Tara ended up dropping the title to Rayne the next night on TV. LOL TNA, there ever was one. Dave also comments with Rayne's new dark hair, she and James look a lot alike, almost like sisters. Half the store.
Yeah, this was really disappointing. Because there again, that was for a while, like even before, like this was like in the late aughts, like 07, 09, when TNA was really on fire with people. And we had like the great feud between Gail Kim and Awesome Kong. So this was kind of a step down, but it was good to see Mickie James again in referee gear.
Oh, she looked good in that rough gear.
Yeah.
I actually got the screenshot right here. Look at that. Okay, so we're going to go backstage to Christie with a promo with Eric Young and his tag team partner. So,
And just tag team partner, no other kind of partner, right?
I'm pretty sure that that's all they are. They're just tag team partners, and not that other kind of partner.
Where'd you get them done?
In King, did a couple of them. The anchor hurt a little bit, but I'm cool with it.
Cool. Okay, so Eric Young, you and Orlando coming up next tonight. I just got to ask you, there's a lot of questions around your relationship with Orlando. It's a little weird.
Yeah, I was kind of weird about it at first too, but you know what? I cracked the code, Christy.
Yeah?
I know that you know that I know that I figured it out. You see, he thinks I'm his dad. I'm like a father figure to him, and who could blame him? So I'm gonna go ahead, take the little fella under my wing, show him what it's like to be a real man. And you know what? I feel terrible for Orlando. Most of his family, they disowned him because of his alternative lifestyle. Can you believe that? Because of his lifestyle? Who cares if he's bi? Polar. You know, like...
What are you doing?
Stay back, devil!
Look.
Stay back! Show yourself! Show yourself, devil!
Max is me.
Whew.
Have you forgotten we have a match tonight?
You almost got nunchuck, bro.
That you set up.
Yeah, I know. I was just in their change room.
Are you ready? Let's go, man.
Okay, I'm ready. Are you in the ring? Are they in the ring? Come on, man.
Lick.
No, thank you.
Back.
Eric Young and Orlando versus Ink Inc. coming up next.
All right, I should note for the audio listeners, Orlando offered Christie a lick of his lollipop.
An actual lollipop, mind you.
Yes.
Not a euphemism.
No, not a euphemism at all. But I love that Eric is showing off his tattoos to Christie. And it reminds me of that bit from Family Guy where Peter Griffin gives Joe Piscopo a workout set. Joe Piscopo's like, don't worry, Peter, I'll only work out in my downtime.
I kind of miss this version of Eric Young. I mean, I like current cleansing, looking like mini Batista Eric Young that we have right now, but I miss this version of Eric Young, who is a bit aloof, a bit goofy, almost a proto R-Truth, if you will.
Yeah, he was kind of like an R-Truth before R-Truth in TNA Eric Young.
Yeah.
All right, so we have Eric and Orlando taking on the team of Ink Inc. of Jesse Neal and Shannon Moore, who's going by the Prince of Punk. So I have a question, Dane. What makes Shannon Moore the Prince of Punk? When was he awarded this title?
I have no idea. The only time I remembered him ever really using the Prince of Punk thing was back in when we had the WWE version of ECW, and I think on the debut of CM Punk's first big thing was Shannon Moore cutting a promo saying that he is the Prince of Punk and he's bringing sexy back, and Punk comes up and looks at him and calls him a poser and slaps him in the face.
I gotta share the screen here. Freaking Eric and Orlando coming to the ring. Oh my God. All right. He hit the share here. Okay. So here's Eric and Orlando. And Orlando's offering Eric the lollipop. And Eric's like, oh, okay, I'll. And then he just sets the lollipop in his mouth. Now, I should note, Dane, that Eric is coming out. He's got the TNA rulebook with him.
They actually have a rule book?
Apparently, there's a rule book in TNA, and Eric has a copy of it.
Oh, Mr. OC from OSW Review would be proud of that fact, as he's always banging on about the rules.
Yeah, but there's a problem here. Eric is very much confused during this match because he's like thinking that he's the referee and he's with Ink Inc. And I'm like, no, you're wrestling against them, Eric. What are you doing?
Yeah, like I said, proto R-Truth, like R-Truth when he thought he was part of Judgment Day. Yeah.
Now, I should note that the whole reason for this storyline is Eric had like an accident on Explosion. Yeah, they had angles on the freaking international show at the time that nobody freaking watched. explosion. So apparently, I guess he has a concussion and he's confused.
That's not quite how concussions work, but okay.
Yeah. So
Why in kayfabe sense is he so allowed to wrestle if he has a concussion? Because, I mean, here we are at 2010, post He Who Shall Be Named World, and getting a better understanding that, hey, concussions are kind of a serious thing, guys.
yeah, they'll do like something about concussions later with Matt Morgan and Fortune. Not to get ahead of ourselves, but yeah. And it's kind of like, what the hell are you talking about, Matt, with these concussions? They're like, you idiot. Concussions. Bah, this is 2010. Okay, now I got the video here. I want to share something. So Eric is going for a move here, and then there's a roll up here, and Shannon gets two. But then Eric high-fives Shannon for some reason.
And he high fives the other guy and goes for a high five with Orlando, and then I was like, okay, fine, I'll high five you now. I don't know what. Oh, okay, that's a tag again.
Okay, I want to mention, I wish that TNA had gone with Brian Alvarez's idea for Orlando Jordan's time machine. So could you imagine Orlando Jordan and Eric Young going through time?
That would be, you know what? I would, given the alternative with what Orlando Jordan was doing before, I would have welcomed that.
Oh, yeah. We could have had Orlando Jordan as a black version of the Doctor, and Eric Young could be the companion. They could get Christy as the female companion, and they could have like adventures all through time and such.
Yeah. Actually, harken back to Tom Baker and or Peter Davison era, where the Doctor had like at least two different companions traveling at the same time.
Oh yeah, like when Tom Baker's Doctor had Sarah Jean and Harry with him.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let me go to the Dave review of this match. Shannon Moore and Jesse Neal beat Orlando Jordan and Eric Young in 6:34. Jordan came out in a white women's outfit with a women's top and leggings. Actually, he wore the same outfit, just in a different color. That Marlowe's Conan wore when she went out after winning the women's title on the Strikeforce show the night before. Okay, so there must have been like a Strikeforce show the night before. That really dates this, huh? Strikeforce?
Strikeforce was a thing?
Yeah. I think, didn't they have like a deal with CBS at the time where Gus Johnson was calling MMA matches?
Probably.
Yeah, I remember those days. This match worked live as comedy because everyone was into Young's gimmick. At one point, he did the double high fives to all three wrestlers in the ref, and then slingshotted Jordan into the ring. That people started chanting for him. There was a spot where Young and Jordan were both crashed on the top rope with Jordan right behind Young. Later, Young pulled out this book that on the cover read TNA Rulebook. When Jordan would tag in, the people would chant, "We want Eric." Jordan held the ropes to pin Moore in the blocked sunset flip spot. And then Young kicked Jordan's hands off the rope. Young then went across the ring into the face team corner and started urging Moore to tag him. Moore tagged Young, and Young did this comedic 80s babyface comeback described as being like the old Rockers tag team, given that he was really doing Marty Jannetty on Jordan. Jordan was eventually double teamed and pinned by Moore. It worked for what it was, 2 stars.
Yeah, it was an alright comedy match. More so from, like, Eric Young's work is never really bought into Shannon Moore or this Jesse Neal guy as anything other than just placeholders or whatever. And
yeah. But hold on, Eric's like, yeah, we won! And Eric's showing off. He's like, yeah, we won! Like, no, Eric, you didn't win the match!
you didn't win, Eric. You think you won, but...
And Orlando's like, oh, you stupid idiots. And then he hugs Orlando. Oh.
No, at least they hugged it out.
That's great. Okay, so now we're going to go to Christy with Jeff Hardy before this match that he's going to have later on for the TNA title with Kurt and Anderson. So let's go to Christy.
Coming up later tonight, Kurt Angle, Mr. Anderson, and Jeff Hardy all competing for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Jeff, what are your thoughts going into your match tonight?
Tonight is a new beginning for me. You know, some people go through life always dreaming about what they truly want to do. Tonight, I know what I'm going to do. Somebody's going to suffer from an unfortunate twist of fate, followed up by that swanton bomb, baby. Daytona Beach, we have a date, and it is bound for glory. Yeah!
Surprisingly, very coherent Jeff Hardy promo.
Yeah, that was actually, I mean, I'm not going to judge what he was probably doing backstage, but, I mean, there was a little sniff, so I don't know, but it was fine for what it was from Jeff.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so we have, for the X Division title, the reigning X Division champion of Jay Lethal going one-on-one with Douglas Williams for the X Division crown.
Douglas Williams being the other British guy in Fortune, apparently.
Yeah, there's two British guys, I think, in Fortune. It's him and Desmond Wolfe, right?
Yes.
The former Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go to the Dave review of this match. Jay Lethal beat Douglas Williams to keep the X title in 8:14. A solid match that told a basic story. Williams, whose gimmick was hating high flyers, used all kinds of suplexes, but Lethal kept kicking out. So frustrated, he went to do a Hurricane Rana off the top rope, but Lethal rolled through and got the pin. Just before the finish, Williams hit the Chaos Theory suplex that looked awesome. When Lethal kicked out, the crowd started chanting, "That was 3." After the match, the Shore showed up. Okay, now who's the Shore, Dane?
I'm guessing something to do with the Jersey Shore?
Yeah, it is. So we have Robbie E. and Cookie.
Cookie. Cookie.
Cookie. Now, I should note, Cookie is Becky Bayless, and that gives me an excuse to tell one of my favorite Wrestle Prep radio stories for the late Wade Braxton, when he had a picture of, I think, Becky Bayless on his computer. His girlfriend went up to him and yelled, "Who's Becky?
Who's Becky?"
Taz, according to Dave, was called by him Robbie G. Oh, jeez, Taz, really?
Damn it, Taz.
Robbie E. said Lethal was a disgrace to the state of New Jersey, while Cookie finished with her catchphrase, "Jersey's in the house, bitches." He says, Dave, the Shore got heat, but it felt more like go away heat, 2 3/4 stars.
Yeah, it was an alright match. It was almost kind of like I would say, almost seemed like a bit of a pun not intended styles clash between Lethal and Williams. It's almost kind of reminded me of when we saw Regal versus Inoki there at Clash of the Champions. It should have been a good match, but somehow they didn't quite mesh well together, or they tried to tell a story one way, but then went another way. And I mean, there again, I'm used to no limits, crazy stuff from the X Division, like with involving like Styles and Daniels and Low-Ki at the.
All right, so let's get into our next match. It's the Monsters Ball match between Abyss and RVD. So apparently, Dane, the Impact before, Abyss tried to kidnap Dixie Carter.
Kidnap Dixie Carter?
Yeah.
Clearly he didn't study. The best way to have done it was to, if he wanted to, he should have just like take out her limousine driver and wait till she comes in the car and then just like drive her off with her.
Oh yeah, say, "Where to, Dixie?" Well, as we know, we noted that RVD and Abyss have had this feud because RVD was taken out by Abyss by Janice. So now we have this Monsters Ball match, and apparently they said on commentary that this is Abyss's last match in TNA. He's done after this show, Dane.
He's done. He's gonzo.
Yeah.
Thankfully, somehow he'll get a job for his brother Joseph Parks, apparently.
Yeah, down the road. Apparently, this Joe Park guy, I heard that he's a really good lawyer, but he doesn't know anything about wrestling. You know, when we eventually get to the Joe Park shit, that's going to be so great. My all-time favorite interview Brian Alvarez ever did was the in-character interview with Joe Burr, where Joe asked Brian, did he ever get the gold boat? Okay, I have to explain. There was a famous rant on TNA Brian did where if the wrestling business was good, if TNA had good shows and pay-per-views, he would have a boat made out of solid gold.
So I'm guessing Brian never got his gold bolt, did he?
No, he never got his gold boat. Well, I have a question, Dane. If he had a gold boat, wouldn't the boat sink?
It would, actually, because gold is a pretty heavy, dense metal.
Yeah, we saw that in that episode of 30 Rock where Kenneth DePage had that game show called Gold Case, where he had everyone carry like briefcases where one case had $1 billion of solid gold, and everyone guessed what the correct case was because everyone couldn't lift the case.
All right, Jeff. One of these briefcases is filled with $1 million worth of solid gold. Are you ready? Let's play Gold Case. That one. Congratulations! You struck gold on Gold Case. Right.
But
That one. That one.
That one. Congratulations. You struck gold on Gold Case.
oh, gold's real heavy, isn't it?
This game doesn't work.
Okay, my bad. Shut it down.
This is
Shut it down!
hopeless.
That's it!
Come on.
At least you got a clock radio out of it, right?
All right, so Abyss, of course, has Janice with him.
Yeah. He brought out Janice and a flat board of barbed wire attached to it.
Yeah, hold up a second. Abyss is going to cut a promo for all of us because he's been talking about they, and according to Abyss, tonight is the night they are supposed to arrive on 10-10-10. I wonder who they are.
I don't know who they're I don't know, maybe they're bastards. The ones who always kill Kenny.
Oh, that is a possibility. Let's hear what Abyss has to say to all of us.
This is his last match in TNA.
For months, I have prophesized about their arrival. And the date is upon us. It happens once a century. And it will begin now with the destruction of Rob Van Dam. And will continue with the takeover as it has arrived. 10.
Well, who is it? Who is they? I mean, I thought he was going to tell us right there.
As RVD's music is playing, obviously he's not going to tell you who they are if RVD is coming to the ring.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, although I have to say 10-10-10 is probably my second favorite date in wrestling after May 19th.
Oh, definitely. May 19th is the all-time winner. Every May 19th I celebrate by having a marathon of Kane matches on YouTube to watch. In fact, I graduated from college on May 19th. I thought it would have been hilarious if on my graduation, if Kane did a run-in and chokeslam me, but no, that didn't happen. All right, so let's go to Dave here. RVD pinned Abyss in 12:58 in the Monsters Ball match. RVD came out fast with kicks and a slingshot leg drop, and then a rider kick and a puncher to the floor. RVD threw in a barbed wire board. He ended up giving Abyss a bulldog headlock on the barbed wire board. RVD went for the rolling thunder, but Abyss moved and RVD landed on the barbed wire board. Abyss used a garbage can lid shot to the head. RVD did a rolling thunder over the top rope onto Abyss, who had been laid out on a table used as a bridge between the apron and the barricade. Oh yeah, that was a sick-ass spot. Dave says the funniest thing happened as the fans started chanting, "This is wrestling," after that stunt show move. RVD used the Van Daminator. Then he went to the top rope and Abyss threw a chair at RVD's head. He then lost balance and fell through a barbed wire board set up between the apron and the barricade. That led to a "This is awesome" chant. RVD's face was bleeding between the eyes from falling into the barbed wire. You should never do that with real barbed wire because even if you keep your eyes shut, it could rip open your eyelids. Sound medical advice there, Dave.
Yes.
RVD then threw Abyss into the barbed wire board. He then did a coast-to-coast Van Terminator dropkick, knocking the barbed wire board into Abyss. RVD missed the frog splash. Abyss grabbed Janice, but RVD threw a chair that hit Abyss in the head, grabbed Janice, and used a shot with the nail board to the gut. Abyss started bleeding from the mouth, which is usually done by biting a condom with blood set up before the match, and kept it.
Whoa! Don't be spilling all the secrets in this match, Dave.
Yeah, Dave, you don't want to be like doing Pro Wrestling's Greatest Secrets Exposed Volume 2. Don't do that.
Don't. Next thing you're going to talk about Abyss threatening the stunt granny at ringside.
Yeah. RVD then used the frog splash for the win. Abyss was laid out bleeding from the mouth, but vowed that they were on their way. 3 stars and a quarter.
There were some good spots in that match, but again, thinking like Monsters Ball between that and like the Clockwork Orange House of Fun match, whatever, where like they supposedly like keep you locked in a room for 24 hours and then let you out and you're supposed to wander around. This was kind of like even the Raven and Tommy Dreamer match from Hardcore Justice was like a lot more unnecessarily gruesome than compared to this, but in a way, it kind of worked because RVD's not really known as a deathmatch type wrestler, so
yeah, for somebody who was known for ECW, who was really not known for that hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's get into our next match. It's a 3-on-2 handicap match between Sting, Kevin Nash, and the Pope against Samoa Joe and Jeff Jarrett.
Okay, because I'm confused here, because I know at this time because I read like the Wikipedia that they called the team of Nash and Sting and the Pope as the band, and I know the band was originally Scott Hall and Sean Waltman and everyone's favorite racist DJ from Florida, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
I'm guessing by this time both Hall and Waltman are gone, so Sting and Pope have kind of, although even the the pre-match hype package kind of like indicating like Sting's not too happy about Hogan and Bischoff now running things because he's kind of been there, done that kind of thing, knows what kind of shenanigans those two can do, and Nash is kind of like, oh, I'm kind of just ambivalent to all this, man. Hogan's a good worker in this business, but that means just the guy who makes the most money, man. And apparently they're both kind of like thinking there's like some grand conspiracy, and they're mad at Jeff for some reason because he's letting this happen, and the Pope apparently has seen the light, and I'm just glad Samoa Joe found a way to escape those ninjas that kidnapped him that one time.
Oh yeah, we never got an explanation for those ninjas, Steve, that kidnapped Samoa Joe.
That's probably what drove Spoonie mad.
Yeah, there's no explanation for the ninjas. That's
they never explained the ninjas. Yeah. You never got the answer why no one called the cops either. Call the cops. Ninjas. Kidnapping. TV.
Given what production drama that Spoonie would be involved with later on, I bet he wishes he was watching 2010 TNA this time. Google to boldly flee. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to mention anything else, so this is not that kind of podcast. Okay, so
save that for another podcast.
Oh god, I'd rather take a cyanide pill if I have to go through that drama. So it's a 3-on-2 match here. I think Hogan was supposed to be in this match, but brother, his back is being worked on, so we wouldn't eventually get the Sting Hogan match until Bound for Glory the next year. but
Oh.
it's a ways away. So let's go to Dave here. Sting and Kevin Nash and Pope D'Angelo Dinero beat Samoa Joe and Jeff Jarrett. Joe started work the entire match. Nash was moving real slow here. Finally, when Joe went to make the tag to Jarrett, Jarrett refused the tag and walked off, and then left Joe alone against all three. Why would Jeff do that, Dane?
Something's afoot here.
Oh, sounds like some collusion's afoot.
Yes.
Oh, collusion! Yeah, collusion indeed.
Maybe there is some truth to this conspiracy that Sting and Nash are talking about.
They booked it where he was fearless and fought off all three, but the numbers game was too much. Finally, Nash pinned him after a powerbomb. The purpose of Nash being the one to pin him when he's supposedly leaving smells like an angle. It was like when Tara was going to lose the retirement match and then won 2 matches on TV right before she left. As it turned out, they had already reached a new contract agreement, so it made sense. With TNA, you never know. But if he's leaving, even for a few months, Pope should have been the one to take the fall. A store in 3/4.
So wait, is Dave basically saying that it should have been Pope that pinned Joe?
I guess.
Or is he trying to say that Joe should have powered back and fought against all odds and pins the young up-and-coming Pope while veterans Nash and Sting just kind of let it happen?
I don't know. It's Dave.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's right. It is word salads on Twitter, Dave, at this, or he hasn't quite discovered Twitter at this time yet, so he hasn't gone all word salady yet.
Now let's go to the back to Christy with Mr. Anderson. And there's the shirt.
Yes, how very un-PG of you to have a shirt that says asshole on it, but the double S's are covered or done over with our stores over instead of where the S's are.
Yeah, asterisks is over it.
Asterisks, yes.
Okay, well, let's go to Christy with Mr. Anderson.
Wow, Bound for Glory is definitely full of surprises.
Yeah, you know what isn't a freaking surprise? I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to Kurt Angle, to his family, his friends, his kids. Sorry, Cody. Sorry, Kira. His neighbor down the street, his dog, the postman. I'm gonna have to end your boy's career tonight. Kurt, you put yourself in this situation, not me. And everything was going just swimmingly until you decided to punch me in the freaking nuts. Yeah. That shit hurt. Not just the left one, but the right one as well. Both, equally. When you're looking back on everything, Kurt, and you're wondering what happened, just know that I didn't end this because I wanted to. You made me. I had to.
Yeah, both testicles, they hurt, man.
It hurts, man. And thankfully the camera kind of cut away from, because it almost looked like Christy Hemme was about to start corpsing.
Oh, yeah, she was about to have the man sent for her.
Yeah. Go study some old Mean Gene tapes, Christy, and see how you can try and mask trying to corpse while trying to remain professional.
All right, so now we have Team 3D out for an interview. Oh, this is very sad. So they're going to make a statement about their career, Dane.
Yeah.
So Dave says they came out before they said anything. A please don't go chant started. Bubba did the talking, saying that they were the greatest tag team of all time and held the world tag titles from WWE, NWA, WCW, All Japan, New Japan, and TNA. He didn't mention Hustle. Not that it matters. Only Dave would be like, why did they mention Hustle?
That's such a backhanded compliment from you there, Dave.
Bubba said that they had done all they could. They had nothing left to prove, and they were retiring. Yes, just before a match where Kurt Angle puts up his career on a retirement step.
Everyone is leaving. Abyss is supposed to be gone now, and Team 3D want to leave, and Kurt might be leaving.
How is this company going to survive? Everyone wants to leave. Why would anyone want to watch TNA if everyone wants to leave?
let's hope the next match we can have some new rising stars built up. Surely they can help and not get buried by some decrepit promotion that went bankrupt almost 10 years ago.
Oh, Dane, I got some bad news for you. Oh, jeez. So Dave says, just before a match where Kurt puts up his career on a retirement stint, you have 3D doing a fake retirement stint. The crowd played along, but you could sense nobody bought this. And why should they? They said they wanted one last match with the Machine Guns for the titles. They said that either they retire as tag team champions or the Guns beat them and get to say they've beaten the greatest tag team of all time.
So I'm guessing, spoiler alert, we have Team 3D winning the next pay-per-view, or knowing TNA Creative this time they do it next Impact.
Yeah. So I guess they retire as tag team champions, Dane. So,
oh yeah, well, good for them. We'll see you guys in 15 years.
Yeah, we'll see you in another 15 years when you face the Hardys. You can win those belts back.
Yeah.
So now we get a lethal lockdown match at Bound for Glory. And it's, let's see what this match is up. Shit. It's EV 2.0 against Fortune.
I thought they were done.
Oh, we were told, Dane, that it was going to be over at Hardcore Justice. They just wanted one show, and they were done.
They were done, and they can go back to trying to hunt down Paul Heyman for the remaining money that he owes them.
All right, so EV 2.0, we got Raven, Rhino, Sabu, Stevie Richards, and Tommy Dreamer with Mick. And Fortune made up of AJ Styles, James Storm, Kazarian, Matt Morgan, Robert Roode, and they're with Ric Flair as a manager.
Boy. And then seeing Mick and Rick kind of working continuously to tarnish their reputations as it is. But I guess I know with Rick, it's kind of, I think he needed the money from his another divorce and living the Nature Boy gimmick 24/7. But Mick didn't need to be in this. And to think, if Vince was a little bit nicer to Mick on the headset when he was commentating on SmackDown, we might not have gotten this run of Mick and TNA.
Okay, so let me go to Dave here. EV2 beat Fortune in 24:46. 24:46. Jesus Christ.
Okay, I understand because this was Lethal Lockdown, but just using the War Games rules that, the first 5 minutes it's one-on-one, and then every 2 minutes, then it's alternating people, and then you go into I don't know, I guess. Because before games, it's the match beyond, or I guess now just in WWE, they just let the War Games begin once all 4 or 5 men or women are in the. So what do they call? Because I know they say once all 5 men, then they lower the cage, they lower the lid for the cage, and it's got weapons as well too, and.
Yeah, I guess that's to make it more extra sexy if you have weapons involved.
So then it's basically Lethal Lockdown's a mix between War Games and CZW's Cage of Death.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, Dave says Flair was wearing one of Shawn Michaels' tank tops that looks like a women's tank top. Maybe this was dressed like your favorite Strikeforce women's fighter night.
Again with a Strikeforce.
Yeah, Dave was really pumping Strikeforce.
And 2, don't be slagging off Rick. I mean, he made an alright-looking woman when he dressed in drag in that back at Uncensored 95.
Yeah. As I said, he made one good-looking drag queen.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely better than Kevin Sullivan's attempt at drag, which is some ragged old babushka.
Oh, God, Kevin Sullivan. He was one ugly drag queen, let me tell you. Foley attacked Flair right away, and he bled. Awesome camera work showing a close-up of Flair as he was gigging his forehead. Oh, solid work there, TNA director.
Boy, I sure hope someone was fired for that blunder.
So Flair was bleeding in seconds. Kazarian started with Richards as they announced this was a 5-minute segment. So at 3:43, the buzzer sounded for Styles to hit the ring.
I wasn't paying attention to the timer, so good on you, Dave, for being pedantic with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they were pretty much using the same timer they used at WrestleMania 1 for King Kong Bundy. Styles did his picture-perfect dropkick onto Richards. He then used a figure 4 while Kazarian held Richards' arms outstretched. This period was supposed to be 2 minutes, and it basically was since Dreamer made the save at 5:46, spitting water into Styles' face. Rude came in at 7:49, and Dreamer became the first of many to bleed in this match. Flair started throwing punches at Dreamer through the camera hole in the cage.
Okay, that was a brilliant spot, actually.
Oh, yeah, that was very good, by Flair. Just punching Tommy through the camera hole. Sabu was in at 9:56. The match started dragging, and these guys were all brawling and bleeding. And at 11:53, Storm came in, and he nailed Richards with a backstabber. Raven got in at 13:55, and his highlight was blowing his nose into a snot rag and rubbing it on Kazarian in the gross out spot.
Ew.
Morgan came in at 15:56. Morgan played Powerhouse, powerbombing Sabu into the cage. Sabu was bleeding. Richards was bleeding from the mouth. Raven was bleeding as well. Rhino came in at 17:57 to start cleaning house with the spinebuster on Rude. A belly-to-belly on Morgan and a gore on Storm. The top was supposed to come down with the weapons when Rhino arrived, but they were slowing the switch, and it came 37 seconds later.
Oh, better late than never.
Yeah, I suppose. Flair and Foley started brawling outside again, with Flair bleeding heavily. The EV2 guys got the weapons, a cane, garbage can lid, cookie sheet, and started using... They got cookie sheets! That's even more better than the steel frying pan at Uncensored 96.
And people want to complain that recently there's no mercy that Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe in the weapons cage match here, that the gimmick weapons were too goofy.
Well, guess who's booking this, Dane? And he had this on the booking staff. Of course they would use those kind of weapons.
I would have to admit, getting powerbombed on diamonds would be very painful.
Oh, it's more painful than thumbtacks, I bet.
Yeah.
Richards threw Kazarian into the cage and knocked the door open. But at this point, Kazarian and Rude were bleeding. Kazarian and Richards climbed to the top. Kazarian set up a ladder that was on top of the cage with the door open and Morgan on the floor. Sabu nailed Morgan with a tope. Kazarian gave Richards a low blow on the roof. Kazarian was climbing the ladder when Brian Kendrick came out from hiding under a sheet on the roof of the cage and knocked Kazarian off the ladder.
What the? Okay. Brian Kendrick. The Brian Kendrick.
Yeah.
Spanky.
Yes.
What does he have to do with EV2?
He was hanging around Foley at this time for some... There was like this segment where Mick was on his book tour and like he went to Mick's book signing and got his book signed, and I don't know what Brian was trying to do in this angle.
I mean, was Paul London at least around with him at this time too, or was Paul Two Stone trying to find Boner?
Maybe the ghost of Boner came to Brian one day and told him what to do. I got to explain this, okay? There was a High Spots interview around early 2010 with London and Kendrick, around the time when Boner went missing and unfortunately passed away soon after. And so London and Kendrick are like, man, Boner's missing, and by the time you watch this, Boner might be dead. And then someone in High Spots says, oh yeah, Boner just died. They're like, what?
What? Boner's dead? No, rip Boner. And then the voice is like, oh, is it a good time to ask about Benoit?
It's so fucking great.
And just a little sidebar here. We're actually talking about Andrew Caning here, who played Boner on Growing Pains, just for people who may not realize that. Actually, that was a big national story here in Canada at the time, because one, he'd gone missing somewhere in the BC, in the wilds of British Columbia. And two, his father, Walter Caning, was also residing now in Canada after spending time in Hollywood, so...
Yeah, that was like the mind blower to me, finding out that his dad was Chekhov. I didn't know that. Back to Dave. It looked like he was supposed to fall Kazarian through the table, but didn't come close. So Kendrick backdropped Kazarian through the table. Most of the people were brawling outside the cage at this point. Styles and Dreamer were in the cage. Styles used a Pele kick to Dreamer, but Dreamer came back with a chair shot to Styles' knee. Dreamer then put Styles on his shoulders and used the Death Valley bomb off the middle rope onto the chair to pin Styles. Between Nash winning when he was leaving and Dreamer pinning Styles in a get your win back finish, some of this stuff defies logic. Hopefully there's a storyline reason more than just get your win back why Dreamer would go over clean on Styles. This wasn't at the level of most of the company's lethal lockdown matches, 2.5 stars.
Well, surprisingly, it was more chaotic than the Monsters Ball match, so I had that going. But yeah, there again, you want to build for your future with, you got obvious future Hall of Famer in AJ Styles. You got current, still hanging around in TNA and being a top heel, right, almost close to being a top heel, and Frankie Kazarian. You have also current WWE backstage producer and agent, Bobby Roode. Actually, that's one thing I missed about Jeremy Borash, and it's because I know at this time he was still going by Robert Roode, so we never got the Bobby Roode introduction from Borash.
Oh, yeah. I love Bobby Roode. And I loved how Matthew from Botchamania would put Roode from Winnie the Pooh.
And James Storm would have a pretty good career in TNA and a cup of coffee in NXT. The only one that kind of just fizzled out was Matt Morgan, who, surprisingly, they always talked about all the potential he had and never really amounted to anything in the wrestling business.
Yeah, there's some spots when I watched 2010 TNA that he was good at. I like the feud with Hernandez when he was basically acting like his own tag team. I thought that was kind of funny.
Oh, yeah, because I remember also seeing that on the one TNA 2010 in 5 minutes clips on YouTube that said he had both belts and he's calling himself the tag team champion, and gets to him, he's interviewing him backstage. He's, who's your partner then? And he's like, you're not listening here, Christy. And she's like, I'm so confused.
Yeah, I'm pretty confused, all right. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Before we get to the next match, to our main event, I gotta say, is Taz the most terrible heel commentator, always trying to side with the heels for the stupidest reasons ever?
Yeah, I think this was not... these have some justifications of why you're siding with the heels. But of course, I think we saw Taz many times in TNA always jump to whichever the new heel faction of the day is. So I remember he sold out to the Main Event Mafia. He would later, I think, become a spokesperson for Aces and Eights. No real reason other than just because.
He sides with Fortune, even though all the people,
all your old
friends,
Philadelphia, all your old buddies from Philadelphia are on the one team.
Yeah, and he makes a stupid excuse as to why he's not siding with them. I'm like, why are you just making the stupidest excuses to justify siding with the heels?
Did he blow out his brain cells while letting the pigeons loose during beautiful people's entrance? That's right, folks. I'm working on the theory that gooning kills brain cells.
Oh, man, if that does, it will explain a lot with Booker. Oh, no. Okay, so here we go. It's our main event of the show for the vacant TNA World Title between Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle, and Mr. Anderson. Oh, Jeff's coming out to new theme music.
Oh, it's music written by him, and it's okay-ish if that's your scene.
I guess.
If you're into... I'm not a scene kid, never was, never will be, so okay.
All right, I guess. Okay, do we want to hear Anderson's intro?
I kind of do because I got a nice little reference to Spaceballs here.
All right, let's go to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, and of course, my assholes.
And then we get to assign the Aussie asshole. This fan flew all the way from Australia just to be proud of holding this sign.
Well, if he was a true Aussie, he would have been Aussie arsehole.
Yeah.
From Green Bay, Wisconsin, Mr. Anderson.
And then we get this sign here from this fan that says, "Hail from Green Bay, Wisconsin, Mr. Anderson, ... Anderson."
Okay, that's a microphone. Almost looked like a propane tank. I'm like, we never had anything to do with propane, as far as I know.
Yeah, I don't remember anything involving him with Hank Hill.
Unless someone on was 2K already in with WWE games at this time, or was it still?
Oh, THQ hadn't gone under yet, so it was still THQ.
Okay, because maybe someone in the community did a creator wrestler and had Hank and Mr. Anderson tag teaming.
Oh, that would be great in like someone's universe mode.
Yeah.
Okay. Hank Hill and Mr. Anderson is the tag. That'd be awesome. All right, now we have Kurt coming out.
Oh yes, with his awesome sampled version with Canadian legend rock band Red Rider's Lunatic Fringe, wrapped over by John Cena's friend there, the trademark.
Oh, that's who did that, the trademark.
Yep.
Okay, so that makes sense because Kurt would probably be tight with it. So, okay, remember, Dane, Kurt's career's on the line. If he loses, he doesn't win the belt. His career's over.
His career's over, and let's hope he wins.
Yeah. So,
pretty sure that they're coming still somewhere.
Oh, we got 20 minutes left in this show, Dane. Of course they're going to have to come out at some point.
Yeah.
I wonder who they are. I hope it's like, you think it's going to be the dinosaurs showing up as they?
That, or hope maybe someone in TNA Creative found Disco Inferno's old booking ideas and we got like a Martian invasion.
Oh, that'd be sick for 10-10-10, the Martian invasion.
Yeah.
What a headline that would be. Freaking Martians made first contact and it was on a wrestling pay-per-view.
Yeah. And a TNA wrestling pay-per-view to boot.
Yeah. Okay, we got this spot here where Kurt is going to whip Anderson into the rope. Anderson with a knee to the face of Kurt. And then Angle responds that way to back suplex. And Angle is for pin, but Jeff breaks that up. Jeff's doing the 10 punches in the corner to Kurt. Anderson knocks it off. So, let's see here. Anderson whips Jeff in the rope. Jeff ducks a charge from Anderson. And then we get this. Oh,
nice locomotion belly to back suplexes from, or Germans, I guess, from Kurt and onto Jeff, onto Anderson. And this is, of course, peak angle, folks, not perk angle.
Yes, we want to be clear. It's peak angle here. Okay, I want to point out something. If you notice in the crowd here, there's this one fan sitting with Sting face paint, and he's got like, I got it paused at 2:35:14 if you have the DVD, or if you're watching on TNA Plus. He's got half white Sting face paint and half red Sting face paint. And then next to him, about on the left, 2 fans down, we got this lady wearing a Cookie Monster t-shirt. That's what you wanted to bring to a wrestling pay-per-view, a Cookie Monster t-shirt?
We did have a cookie earlier in the show, so...
Yeah. Oh, hold on a second. Around 2:35:22, the Cookie Monster fan and the other guy are patting Mr. Anderson on the back on the outside.
Oh, yes, but the guy in the white tank top there, maybe.
Oh, I think they might be the Australian fan that had the sign, because there's an Australian flag at ringside there next to them. Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, Anderson going for a couple elbows onto Jeff while Kurt's on the outside. Oh, Anderson's bleeding a little bit here. Anderson's going to make a move, but Kurt pulls his leg on the outside. Hold on. I got a fan here at 236-16 holding a cornet face on. Because, yeah, that would have been a thing because of Botchamania at this time.
Yeah.
So Anderson and Angle are fighting. Jeff goes for a swanton onto the outside. Oh.
Now they're all three are down. Referee Brian Hebner is checking on everyone.
All right, Kurt and Jeff go back into the ring here. And so it's just Kurt and Jeff here for a little while Anderson's on the outside here. But then Anderson comes back into the ring here. Jeff clotheslines Anderson in an elbow. And now Jeff's going to the top rope. What's Jeff going to do here? Oh,
nope, Angle. He can't go. Does his running off the top suplex. Rolling Samoan drop. Another rolling Samoan drop. Or is Zaguri from Jeff onto Anderson? And
let's see. He's dragging Anderson. Now Jeff's going to go on the top rope while Kurt's just lying in the corner here. And, all right, let's explain this. Anderson is ducking from the splash, but Kurt's playing possum in the corner and is going to run to get the pin, and he only gets 2 there. But that I actually like that. That's actually great strategy there.
Yeah.
Kayfabe-wise from Kurt.
Yeah, well, yeah, we got a nice quick shot of Dixie Carter sitting at ringside.
Okay, Kurt is going to go onto the second rope with Jeff, give him some punches. He's probably going to go for a suplex here. And he's struggling there. Oh, and then Anderson's
going to fender and does...
Oh! Anderson goes for a pin, but only 2 on Angle. And then multiple Germans coming here from Kurt.
Yep.
1, 2. Is he going to get a third here? 3.
All
right, 3 is all you get, Ken.
And then now he's going to do the same to Jeff.
Oh, 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, it's serious time now because Kurt's pulled the straps down and it's ankle lock time.
Time to tap, Jeff. Kurt's career is on the line here. This is going to be all over pretty soon. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, double ankle locks. Kurt's gone both on Jeff and Mr. Anderson.
Oh, my. This is a sick move here. It's like both their ankles are fused together here.
Yeah.
One of them's got to tap out, Dean. I don't see how you can escape this.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, they're both. Oh.
Both Jeff and Anderson used momentum to their favor and toss Angle off and break the hold.
Okay. But Curdy's going to go on the top rope here. And Ken's going to just give him some punches here in the corner. And they're going to... Okay, Ken's going to go up. What's he going to do here?
Rolling Samoan drop from the second rope. Ow.
Now Jeff is going off the top while Anderson's going for the pin. Swanton onto Anderson, breaking up the pin. Jeff goes for a pin. Yeah, on both of them, but he only gets 2. Angle slam. That's got to be it. No, it's 2. And now Anderson's going on to the top.
What's he going for another top rope suplex Angle.
Jeff goes for a pin onto Anderson, but he only gets 2. Oh, Dane, we're like have less than 10 minutes left. Are we going to see that Abyss was talking about?
I hope the time's running out. Make something happen.
I want to see that alien invasion, Dane. I want to see it. Okay. Jeff, let's see. Kicks Anderson. Twist of fate.
Twist of fate. He's going up again. Going for the swanton, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Anderson is down. Angle is down.
Okay.
Swanton this time.
Okay, that's got to be it. 1, 2. No, Angle makes the save. Now Jeff's in the ankle lock. Oh my God. And then Jeff is trying to break out of it. And rolls him right into Anderson. Mic drop. 1, 2. No.
No.
Oh my.
Anderson is incredulous over that count. Oh, now we got Anderson sunset flip or roll up from Anderson, which gets countered by Jeff rolling him up and only gets 2.
And now Kurt is going to go on the top. He's going to do a moonsault here.
I love Kurt's moonsaults.
And the way this is shot, now we've dogged on TNA camera crew, the directing, all show, but this is actually pretty good here.
Yes, it is. But that one is younger. 2 and a bit, almost. They're almost 2. Well, almost really.
Yeah, it was almost the win. So Jeff goes to the outside here. So now it's Kurt and Anderson all alone here. Kurt tries to go for the Angle Stram. No.
Another mic drop. Oh, no, might block by Angle.
Okay.
Going for another. He's trying to go for some kind of suplex, but I think Anderson mule kicked him in the balls.
Oh no! Kurt,
oh no!
Like clothesline Brian.
Uh-oh. So now we have no ref.
Oh no!
No disqualification. So anything can happen now.
Yeah, I mean, remember, this is no DQ. Anything goes here. So everybody's down here, and Eric's coming out.
Eric Bischoff. Wait, with the chair? And some unknown. I don't know if it's anything significant or anything, but there's like a blue tape or some kind of sticker on there. I don't know if it's just the manufacturer label or something.
Or maybe it's a chair he brought from Orlando with him. I don't know.
Now he's in the ring, looking like he's going to smack someone.
Yeah, but who's he? Oh, wait.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, Dane. Oh, the knockoff. Jimi Hendrix music means one thing, Dane. That's right, brother. I'm here.
No back surgery's going to keep me down, brother. Okay, because I think we might want to mention this. Who are these fat lads that are following Hogan?
Fuck if I know, Dane.
I almost thought one of them was Bubba the Love Sponge.
Oh, wait, I think it's the security guy from the Hardcore Justice show. I think it is anyway, but was Hulk like,
oh, you did such a great job at Hardcore Justice, brother. Do you want to come work for me?
Oh, my back. Oh, it hurts. Oh. Now, I gotta note, my dad last year had an accident off the ladder where he broke his foot, and he is still suffering from that a year later. And let me just say, my 76-year-old dad could get into the ring faster than Hulk Hogan, probably.
I forgot also 2010 was the year of the Affliction style shirts in both wrestling and MMA.
Oh, yeah. Hulkster was like, oh, this MMA thing's big, brother. I want to have my own design just like that.
In about 14 years, I'm thinking me and Eric will start our own real American freestyle wrestling too, brother.
Oh, we got an argument between Hogan and Bischoff.
And Hogan's, now he's handing...
Eric took his crutch.
Took one of his crutches.
Yeah. So wait, are we going to have something similar to the lightsaber fight at Hardcore Justice, but with the crutches?
Okay, so now I'm almost thinking it's like the fight in Family Guy when we had like Herbert fighting the puppeteer that was like an old concentration camp guard.
Oh, yeah. It was like the freaking old men fighting.
Yeah.
At one point, Herbert went, wake up, we're fighting.
Wake up, we're fighting. 6 o'clock, I gotta take my medication first.
Oh, brother, I gotta take my pills. But Jeff's like, oh.
No, stop, guys, you can both marry me.
Okay, so I should know Kurt is crawling onto the second rope while Hogan and Bischoff are trying to fight each other. And Jeff is between them, and Hulk's like, hey, Jeff, brother, why don't you have my crutch? So
you take the shot, brother.
Yeah, you take the shot on her, brother. Yeah, I'm still recovering, brother.
And okay. Bless his heart, he's still selling that he's like completely out of this match.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, we're going to have a lightsaber fight with crutches between Jeff and Eric, and it's going to be glorious. Here we go. Oh, I can't wait for this. Here we go.
And meanwhile, Angle's walked up his face. Oh, no!
Oh, no! What?
Oh, no! Disaster! What a bad idea!
What have you done, Jeff Hardy?
Jeff hit it.
Why, Jeff? Why?
Why, Jeff? Jeff hit Kurt with the crutch. Why did he do that?
Hogan's looking like trying to sell like, what's going on here, brother? I didn't expect this to happen, brother.
And then Eric's like, here you go, Jeff. Here's the other crutch.
There's the other crutch.
And what is that? What is he? Oh, wait a minute, Dane.
Oh no, wait, they just did the fusion dance point.
Oh no, Dane. It was all a setup.
It was a setup.
Cahoots.
Cahoots. Anderson stirs up and gets a good whack from Jeff in the crutch.
Oh, we were all bamboozled, Dane.
They fooled us, King.
Oh no.
Oh, this is kind of funny here. Okay, so we get Twist of Fate from Jeff onto Anderson. Eric pulls Brian Hebner back in and gives him a good kicking as well to make sure he's counting 3. Jeff Hardy, new TNA World Champion, and Dixie looks aghast.
Like, what the fuck?
What have I gotten myself into?
Okay, let's hear from Eric. He grabbed the mic, so let's hear what he has to say.
What the hell have we just seen here from Jeff Hardy?
Ladies and gentlemen, the new World Heavyweight Champion, Jeff Hardy!
Wait,
What?
Jarrett's coming out too. Oh, he's sure not going to like this being the... Wait a minute, Abyss! You're supposed to be gone, Abyss!
You're supposed to be retired, Abyss.
Yes.
You're not supposed to be here anymore.
Oh, now we get a hug from Hogan and Abyss.
Oh, no.
And Jarrett raises Jeff's hand in victory as well, too. Oh, here comes RVD to protest things.
Oh, his cups are being thrown all over the ring. And RVD's like, Jeff, why?
Why, though? No.
No. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Remember all the fun time we had in my car, man?
Yeah, smoking doobies together, and then Jeff's like, fuck you, and he hits him with the belt.
This is like grabbing in Jeff's shoulders and...
Oh, let's go to Mike TNA here.
My God, it comes to 10, 10, 10. We're always going to remember it as the night Jeff Hardy made a deal with the devil. I think the landscape in TNA just changed dramatically.
Oh, and by the way, Dave gave that match 4 stars.
Yeah, it was doing good up until the ending segment here, which is just kind of confusing.
Yeah, it is. It really does not make any sense.
I think I kind of Mandela affected this because I thought this was when, or is it, I guess, on the next Impact that Abyss comes out with the "They're Here" sign that's misspelled.
I think it was after the show they took a picture with the "There."
Oh, okay.
So I think that's what happened, and it's Mandela affected as it was on this show. But no,
yeah, it happened. There was an after the cameras thing.
Yeah, that I think was probably played on Impact the next week or
the
whatever.
next night. Yeah.
All right. So, what do we have to say about Bound for Glory 2010?
It was a mixed show. I mean, the opening match with the Machine Guns and Generation E was fast-paced and good opener. Yeah, the women's 4-way match was a bit disappointing, but helped get over the new rival Mickie James and Tara. But as you kind of mentioned, seemed kind of rendered null and void on the next set of tapings. The comedy match, spot match with Orlando and Eric Young was all right for what it was as a comedy match. RVD and Abyss had what should have been probably blow off to their feud, but I'm guessing we get more RVD Abyss stuff coming down the road. Lethal Lockdown should have been a chance to build new stars, but failed at that. The Sting and Nash and Hope versus Jarrett and Samoa Joe match, well, at least makes sense now at the end, like why Jarrett's turned on Samoa, but Samoa Joe was acting like he's a big Hulkamork as well, too. Like, he wanted to go out and win one for the Hulkster who's recovering from his back surgery.
Well, apparently it was work, brother.
It was work. Don't work yourself into a shoot, brother.
I think, wasn't this about the same time where he made the infamous tweet about working yourself into a shoot?
I think so, yeah.
Let me just look that up. Hogan worked yourself into a shoot. Oh, Dane, this was 6 days later on October 16th, 2011.
Well, at least a year and 6 days later.
10/16.
Yeah. Oh, man. You know what, Dane? With AI technology, I bet we could get the Hulkster himself to say. I think I will have the technology to do that. So, all right. So I'm going to find some AI and I'll see where I can find. Okay, here it is. Here's the Hulkster in his own words saying it.
Good night, Hulkamaniacs and jabroni marks. Without a life that don't know, it'll work when you work and work yourself into a shoot, marks.
Wow, Dean, it was almost like the Hulkster himself was in the room with us.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, it was a good it always kind of confused me as to why Bound for Glory was always be considered TNA's version of WrestleMania or Starrcade, like being their top show of the year. Like, I always thought that Slammiversary should be that designated thing, but nonetheless.
Yeah, so we have they. What are they going to be doing with TNA now?
And who's going to save Dixie Carter, as apparently her monster stalker and apparent business partners have all seemingly teamed up against her.
I don't know. We need a hero here in TNA. Kurt's retired. Nash and Stinger out the door. I guess EV 2.0's going to save us, maybe?
Unless Fortune's going to turn face all of a sudden.
I don't know. Well, we don't have to worry about 2010 TNA for a while, so we can just forget that. Yeah, so that was Bound for Glory 2010. And so what do we got on our next show? Well, Dane, we've had some historical moments in the world, but did you know that there was a historical moment on a wrestling show in 1993?
1993, historical moment.
Yes, in October of 93. 32 years ago, we had a summit on Monday Night Raw.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, I know that's 4 years away from the other summit that we had or the great debate between Jerry Lawler and Paul Heyman, the existence of ECW.
Well, it wasn't quite that.
Okay, well, that's good, at least.
But we had Macho Man Randy Savage and Crush in a summit to discuss this apparent beef that Crush has with Randy Savage after he got injured by Yokozuna.
Oh, yes, from either Crush trying to attempt to slam Yoko, or afterwards that Yoko decided to bonsai drop Crush to show America that they're weak and inferior to the superior Japanese weight.
Okay, I suppose. But why is Crush upset at Randy? I don't understand.
What did Randy do to him?
Yeah, Randy didn't do anything to anybody.
He was already on commentary for most of the time. Did he not maybe put him over enough on commentary and then Crush is just upset about that? I don't know.
Did he not go see Crush after he got injured by Doink the Clown?
Oh, look, it all comes back to Doink, brah.
So next time here on the Squared Circle Time Machine, we're going to have the Savage Crush Summit from October of 1993 on Monday Night Raw. So until then, I'm Greg, and that was Dean. And we'll see you with the Savage Crush Summit next time, right here on the Squared Circle Time Machine. Have a good rest of your day, everybody.
With a recurring characters, okay. We weren't Urkel, though.
Well, no, Urkel was over, man. He was like, Urkel.
Who'd you liken us to?
Boner, Boner's missing. You guys know that, right?
My
By
boner
the
is
time you
missing.
see this, Boner might be dead.
Boner is dead.
Oh, did they not?
Yeah,
Did they-
Boner's dead.
Boner's dead?
Boner's dead.
Get the fuck out of here. Seriously?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. Wow, I left Los Angeles. Boner was missing.
Fuck.
I'm here in North Carolina. Boner's dead.
It's a wrap.
Fuck, guys, this has gotten pretty heavy pretty quick.
This has really gotten me. Would this be a bad time to ask about Benoit?